Elite Facts presents
10 celebrities who are real-life heroes. 10. Tom Hardy. Appearing first on our list, we have probably the most recent example of a celebrity preventing a crime from happening. A-list actor and reader of bedtime stories on the CBBC, which we're certain isn't for kids but rather for mothers who've got a crush on good old Bronson himself, Tom Hardy. So if you haven't heard the story, on April 25th in southwest London, Bain himself chased down and apprehended a thief who had attempted to steal a moped. Witnesses state that Hardy was fast to act as he pursued the culprits, and he even took a shortcut by jumping through gardens and sprinting through a building site. Once he caught the culprit, Hardy was quick to check for any weapons, as well as securing the thief's identity before exclaiming, quote, "I caught the Yeah, we're not going to say that last word. If you're lucky, maybe he'll say it for you in his next bedtime story episode on the BBC. Needless to say, we're pretty certain that his odds of playing James Bond have gotten even greater thanks to this showcasing of his pursuit skills. 9. Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel is very much a family man. Don't believe us? Watch a Fast and Furious movie that he stars in and just do a shot every time he mentions family. Your bed will be spinning for days by the time you get to that final act. Well, as it turns out, Vin sure isn't shy when it comes to risking his own life in real life to save family, even if it's not his own family. In 2001, while filming the first XXX film, Vin Diesel was cruising around Hollywood on his motorcycle when he witnessed a severe car crash. Diesel risked his own life to save a family by pulling them out of their burning vehicle before it could cause any more damage to those involved in the accident. We're guessing that when you ride with Vin, you either ride together or die together, and Vin sure as hell wasn't ready to die. Say what you want about his films, he sure does have a good heart. 8. Jamie Foxx. Much like Vin Diesel, Jamie Foxx had a similar encounter with a person in dire need of help. In January of 2016, a vehicle crashed directly outside of Foxx's home in Hidden Valley, California. Foxx's representative stated that the Oscar-winning actor was quick to run out of his home and pull the victim out of their burning vehicle. Thankfully, after calling 911, Foxx was there to help the man who reportedly suffered severe third-degree burns until the ambulance arrived to rush him to the nearest hospital. 7. Tom Cruise. So it's pretty safe to say that Tom Cruise is not only a full-time A-lister, he's also a part-time hero. Don't believe us? Well, listen to some of these heroic real-life tales. It seems that on multiple occasions, Cruise has been a real-life hero. For example, back in 1998, Cruise went out of his way to help his London neighbor, Rita Simmons, who was being mugged. Simmons told the Evening Standard paper that, quote, "Tom was brilliant. He rushed down the road with his bodyguards and chased the attackers away." Sure, he had bodyguards with him, but the idea that he would take the time out of his schedule to help a person in need is still a heroic act. Still not convinced? 2 years prior to that, in 1996, the Mission Impossible star helped a 23-year-old woman who was hit by a car on her way to catch a bus in Santa Monica. Not only did Cruise have someone call 911, but he followed the woman to the hospital, comforted her while she was treated, and even paid all of her medical bills, which added up to a whopping $7,000 after learning that she didn't have any medical insurance. These are only 2 examples of many heroic acts he's done. 6. Harrison Ford. By now, we should all know about Harrison Ford's aviation skills. Yes, we know he crashed his plane back in 2015, but it took a lot of skill for him to crash somewhere that wasn't densely populated. Okay, never mind. We did kind of forget that he nearly collided with an airliner earlier this year. But regardless of this, he's always been an avid fan of aviation, so much so that he uses his knowledge and skills to help those in need. Once, while helicoptering over a forest, he spotted and rescued a stranded female hiker who was collapsing due to altitude sickness and dehydration. Another time, he helped locate a 13-year-old boy who went missing in Yellowstone National Park. 5. T.I. T.I., also known by his birth name, Clifford Joseph Harris Jr., has been credited with saving 2 lives. According to Scott Stapp, the frontman of the popular alternative rock group Creed, the rapper T.I. took care of him after he jumped over the balcony of a Miami hotel in a drug-fueled haze that was triggered by a bout of depression. And again in 2010, T.I. found himself preventing another person from committing suicide. As he was on his way to shoot a music video, he heard that a man named Joshua Sparks was threatening to jump off of a a building in Atlanta. He drove to the scene and spoke to Sparks via a video he recorded for the police, helping convince the man to step back from the ledge. T.I. didn't take credit for this heroic act, and he said of the incident, quote, "For one, I'm not taking any credit. I didn't do it. I could have just as well came down here and it could have been resolved in another way. The fact of the matter is that God put me in a position to help, and I can't take any credit for that." We don't care what he says. What he did was a noble act of kindness. He could have easily left it for the police to handle, and let's be honest, most celebrities probably would do just that and turn a blind eye to a situation like this. But kudos to T.I. for helping a fellow human being. 4. John Oates of the musical group Hall & Oates. So this one is like something lifted straight out of Pulp Fiction. While the singing duo were in a restaurant enjoying a meal, their evening was interrupted when a robber essentially took the whole restaurant hostage. John Oates was fast to act as he ran at the armed robber and pushed him through a glass door. Not only that, he kept the robber's wrist pressed under his feet until the cops showed up. Imagine the potential massacre that could have taken place if Oates had chosen to sit back instead of making a quick, heroic move. 3. Kate Winslet. We must admit that this Titanic star is a real hero. While she was staying at business tycoon Sir Richard Branson's mansion on his private island in the Caribbean, the house got hit by a bolt of lightning, causing it to go up in flames. We hate it when that happens. Branson's mother, who at the time of this incident was 90 years old, still maintained the ability to walk, albeit very slowly. However, during this incident, the whole evacuating process had to be sped up. So realizing the gravity of the situation, Winslet was fast to act as she swept Branson's frail old mother into her arms and brought her out to safety. If she was that strong to carry a person out of a burning house, why didn't she pull DiCaprio onto that floating door with her in Titanic? 2. Sean Penn. While on his mission to save lives during Hurricane Katrina, Penn ferried as many as 40 people to safety. After helping in the rescue of so many people, he could not continue any further because his boat ended up developing a serious leak from all the people he had been ferrying to safety. Now, usually you wouldn't want to take a boat ride from Sean Penn, considering what he did in Carlito's Way, but you'd probably want to take the ride in that situation. 1. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Let's be honest, how could you not expect Arnold Schwarzenegger, Detective John Kimball, and the governor of California himself to save someone's life in real life? In 2004, while on holiday with his family off the coast of Hawaii, Schwarzenegger noticed a local who had developed cramps and was having trouble swimming. Mr. Schwarzenegger was quick to notice that the man was in distress and he swam out to help him. The swimmer, who was clinging onto a boogie board, said he had cramps all over his body and was unable to swim back to shore. Arnold, who was 56 years old at the time, told the man to hang on, and he helped him swim the 100 meters back to shore. Mr. Schwarzenegger then sat with the man on the beach to ensure that he was unharmed and advised him to rest. This goes to show you that the Terminator does have a heart after all.
Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more Elite Facts.